Hello and welcome. It's a good day to be on the farm. My name is Chuck, and this is Somerset Farms episode 11. And in the end of the last episode, we wrapped up cultivating our fields, and we bought a little bit of equipment. So between the episodes, I've actually ran a couple of trips back and forth from the shop. As you can see, we've got this corn and sunflower harvester on the front of our uh, harvester. Forgot the word there for a second. On the front of our harvester, so we're ready to go for that. So we're going to drop this in. Now, of course, the first thing that we're going to cultivate, or not cultivate, the first thing that we're going to harvest is going to be that canola that we have planted on two of our fields. So we're going to go ahead and just drop this corn header in the back of our little area here. And then I'm going to back entirely out, and we'll turn around here in the lot, and then we'll back this in. And that's going to pretty much do it for February. Again, if I remember right, we'll have to look at our planting schedule. Whoops, missing the front there completely. So we're going to get this way, and then here. We'll back this thing in. And we've got our other header back there for the canola. And then we'll get sunflowers planted here in a second. So that's going to push this here. And we'll drop that off. Got our tipper here because we did turn that in as well. And there's our other two tractors. The other trip I made was to bring these bags of seeds back. Now we have 3 partial bags of seed. This one with 400 liters, this one with 340, and this one at a full 1,000 liters. So we do need to start using some of these seeds rather than buying new seeds, but it's not going to hurt to have seeds, so we can certainly keep these in our shed for now. The last thing that we're going to be doing, let me look at our map. Not our map, our timetable. I can't use the right words today. Our schedule here, our calendar, if you will. We're in February, and we're going to be able to plant sunflowers in March. So next month after we sleep, we're going to be busy planting sunflowers on lots of the fields, at least 33, 34, but probably 18 as well, unless we decide to make 18 a grass field, which I don't think we will do, because then we might as well not have it, because we're not going to get all the grass care stuff yet. So probably all 3 fields will get sunflowers in the next 2 months, March and April. And then we have to basically fast forward or maintain until July, because May, June, we don't have much going on. July is when we will be able to harvest that canola, and that's when we will need to build the oil factory. So again, we've looked at the oil factory. Nope, wrong menu. Under construction, under production, factories, we can start making oil here with this oil mill, which is 80,000, but we're going to put it somewhere about here, depending, and then we're going to rotate it because we want to be able to drop off easily and pick up easily. I mean, it would be most ideal like this, but that would just stick out into our yard too much. So we'll probably do something along these lines to try to get this flattened over here, or something. That might make dumping it off hard if the oil is going to be stacked in this yellow area here up front, but we'll figure that out. So the reason we're not building this right now is because we'd have to pay fees every month for operational costs, and we won't be running it till at least July. June? July. Whenever we just said we can harvest that canola. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at right now. Our fields are looking great. There's really not a lot else to do. This is all hooked up. I suppose we could get our... Did I bring the seeder back? I think I did. Where did I put it? No, there's our plow and our sprayer and our cultivator. This is our tedder. So I suppose we have some grass care stuff. We don't have any mowers or anything. Did I not bring it back? I thought I brought everything back from the shop there. So I guess since we've got those weights on and I don't see it anywhere, let's hop in here real quick. How easily I forget what I'm doing. We're going to take this down to the shop and just scope out what equipment we still have down there. Plus we need to park down by our house anyway to sleep. So this shouldn't take that long. We will take the long way around though. Oh, yep, there it is. Never mind. I remember. I parked it right where we could start using it first thing in the morning. So I don't need to go down to the shop. I just needed to know that I parked it right there. So I had the best of intentions, but I forgot that I had done that already. So we'll just drive this tractor, which is this our Magnum? I think it might be. This is probably too much tractor for that planting. Yeah, this is our Magnum. So our planter is 9 meters, which is 3 times as wide as our previous one, which should make getting everything done a little easier. And I saw that it held 2,660 liters, but 2,000 of that is fertilizer. Only 660 of that is actually seeds. So we're going to have to refill this thing quite a bit. But it requires 180 horsepower. And our large tractor is 374. Medium's 264. So probably better do this with the McCormick, not with this large tractor here. We certainly could, but it's overkill. So who knows? We'll see what we do in the morning. But that's kind of it for February. Again, here's our field. It's looking great. So we're going to go ahead and just move on. So tomorrow we're working, so we're going to get up at 8 instead of 9. And we will just take a look and see what we can come up with in the meantime. And once we get all this sunflowers planted, we'll have to decide what we want to do next. So let's go ahead and shut that. Good thing March looks like a nice sunny day. These all moved forward to growth stage, so they're starting to look like canola. We don't use this case Magnum for much, actually, because our fields are pretty small. So I think I am going to plant with this, just because I want to use it for something. And we did get a bigger planter, although this is still overkill for this. The McCormick is already hooked up to the tipper, so we're going to go ahead and just give it a shot. And I think I hook up to it this way. The hitch is over there for pulling it, but then you just kind of line it up the way that you want it. And let's see, we're going to get here. It is cultivated. It is ready to be planted. As is 33 and 34 over there. So this actually won't take very long with this equipment. It doesn't look like. So we'll go ahead and lower it. Gotta raise it up. We gotta unfold it. Now we gotta lower it. This fruit cannot be planted in March. Of course, because I did not switch to sunflowers. Okay, third time's a charm. Here's our sunflowers, and here we go. Yeah, look at this planter. That is going to make quick work of these little fields. I mean, field 18 is a pretty little field, which we already knew. This is a new planter that I've never used before, and I'm interested because we're planting, not seeding, but we're doing crops that can fill the oil factory, which is just canola and sunflowers. It's an interesting piece of equipment to be able to do both at 9 meters. We're never going to reuse that planter again, at least not for canola. We might use it again if we decide to do wheat or barley at some point in time, but not sure why we would do that. At least not this early in the game. So get this field going. How's that looking? Looking like some great coverage. We missed just a tiny little bit here, but I don't think it's worth going back over. Getting lined up here. Probably should have done a headland too, but that's okay. We're making quick work of this field. And if we go through all the trouble of plowing, like we did for these 3 fields, and cultivating, we're not even going to have to spray, because we shouldn't get any weeds because we plowed. Now when we do the canola fields again, we will have to spray because we shouldn't have to plow those between this season and the next, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, I like this setup. This is going rather well. It's like 8:22 in the morning. We might get everything planted by lunchtime, which might mean that we need another field. Now, the problem is our harvester is small. So we've got small fields, we've been working with small equipment, and that's totally fine. Until we get to harvesting and we realize that our harvester is too small, it is going to take us forever to harvest that canola field that we've got right across the street here. Which field number is that? 36. With that little 5-meter harvester, we're going to be up and down 36 a lot of times. So we will see how it goes. I didn't think it was worth buying another harvester. Let's see. So we're going to turn that off. We're going to unfold it. We're going to detach. Yeah, I mean, that went really quick. We missed a tiny little bit on the corner here and a tiny little bit on the side, but like I said, not worth going back to fix. And we're going to come up here. I do like this Case Magnum. This is a nice tractor. And again, overkill for what we're doing, but this is our biggest piece of equipment, to be honest. So might as well use it. I mean, we needed it for the plow, but might as well use it for planting as well. So we'll take our exit out here, and then we will make our way over to 34 and 35. No, 33 and 34. But man, I just love the sound of this engine. It's got a nice, healthy purr to it. What is this field? 48. Hold on. This is owned by Jimmy Caldwell. It is plowed, not cultivated. We could maybe think about getting this field when we're done. I also took the wrong turn. I need to be on this strip, one south, but we're in here where the bale sell point is and the Cotswold stores. This is a nice little field though. Where's the entrance at? Tiny little cut through here, but that can't be the only entrance. Must be down there. Anyway, a nice little flat field we could work on if we need a 6th field, but I don't honestly know how many fields of sunflower and canola we do need. Probably if we're going to do anything crazy, we should probably get a bigger field and just straight up do a massive field and then rent a giant harvester to get everything off of it at some point. But we're not there yet. We haven't even really had one harvest yet because our first crop of canola is still... Oops, hello guy. You stopped. If you would have kept going, we wouldn't have gotten an accident there. So we're going to pull out here and make our way over to our smaller fields. And again, this road is quite narrow, but luckily all of our equipment seems to fold in a way that makes it possible. Our plow, although I didn't realize it at the beginning, folds behind us, so we can get down this road with it straight behind us. This also pulls straight behind us, even though it's 9 meters when we're using it. I'm actually becoming quite a fan of this. If only it had a bigger tank, it would be obviously my one complaint, but for what it's worth, this is a great way to get progress made on these fields without messing around too terribly much. Let's back this into the corner here. And I gotta turn the camera so I can see if we're getting close. Something like that. But yeah, this planter is working out really well. I'm so far pretty impressed with it. And if you're only looking to do a couple of different types of crop, like we are, at least in the beginning, it's a great little planter to get you started. So let's go ahead and get this picked up, see if I can remember the correct order. So we'll fold it up. It's already on sunflowers. So we're going to get here, we'll lower it, turn it on, and then we're going to do not quite a straight line because we're going to hug the edge a little bit here, and then we'll overlap on our lap that comes back. And maybe we'll try to do a headland down here just to keep this nice and clean because there's not that much room to turn around. So technically I think you would stop about there. And give ourselves plenty of room to turn around, and then we'll get lined up on pretty much 90 degrees here. And if we're overlapping on this end, like so, we should be overlapping quite a bit more at the other end, but that'll give us a nice 90-degree line to work off of. And it looks like just like a 13 or a 14 row planter. Yeah, look at how far we're overlapping down here, but that's okay. Go ahead and lift that up, and we'll get turned around. Oh, and it's not going to quite make it. I was hoping we would cover all the way down to the end here so we didn't have to overlap for any more than we already are. That looks pretty straight. Yeah, I don't really know how they do those little narrow pieces in real life. I mean, I assume they would stop here, and again, we'll do one strip at the end to cover all of this. My guess is they'd actually probably come down here and start at an angle, like so, and just follow the edge. So I guess we'll try that. I know they don't turn with this equipment very often. So, but it's like you get to this sort of narrow point and you're going to end up replanting like 10 or 11 of your 12 rows. Like, just to get that little corner piece. But we'll go like that. And come down here. Get way down there. This is a fun little field. I mean, I suppose we are doing overkill at this point with this 9-meter planter, but hell, a lot more fun to do it like this and not needing to use that tiny little one. So big fan of this planter. Yeah, we're going to get all these done before noon, as long as we don't run out of seeds. And we've used some fertilizer, so I think we even have a layer of fertilizer on here. Let's check our field here. Yeah, look, we're doing good. Obviously, fertilizer is not a thing anymore because we're in precision farming, so I'll have to check the nitrogen levels. And we might have to come back and spread some fertilizer on here at some point anyway. That's totally fine. Let's come back this way. And we'll pull this out here and down. I think we're going to miss a tiny little wedge in here if we do this from the edge. So let's get this lined up, and we'll just do a quick once over right there. Still missing that little triangle, but that's all right. And then we'll come all the way down here like so. We'll get this capped off. So this headland is going to cover this end down here and overlap most of the strips. It is like, looks like we're going to leave a couple of triangles unplanted, but I think that is just fine. So overall, we've got complete coverage on this map, but there are a couple of spots you can see that we did miss. And I'm just going to run over my hedges. So we're going to do pretty much the same thing over here. So third field ready. This is the one where I couldn't quite figure out the correct angle. So we've got these little patches and dots where we didn't get cultivated, and I'm guessing we can't plant on those. So it'll be interesting to see what those look like when we get done with this. But we'll go ahead and just get this going like so. I think my tractor's pulling just a little bit to the right. I started on 261. We got on 262 by the end of that row, and then I had to adjust in the middle, so maybe it's just the way the hill's set up. So we want to make sure we've got enough overlap here, and would be 79, I think, technically. So if we stay at 79, we should keep the same angle. No, that's too much. Is it 81? Yeah, 81 was the right number. So 81 and 261. I was worried we weren't going to have enough seed and have to refill that seeder all the time, but this seems to be doing the job just fine. And the one load of 660 liters of seed has proven to be enough for probably all three fields. Well, definitely all three fields. We're only down 52% seeds. We're almost done with this, so it's going to be a little different harvesting. Planting all three fields in one episode is pretty impressive, but harvesting is going to be like 3 episodes with that tiny little harvester. So I do want to give it a shot though, because I've never used that harvester really either, and it was given to us on this map, so might as well try it. If I do get too frustrated, you'll see me buying a new harvester, because we do have tons of money in this map, so we certainly could but I wanted to get at least one harvest going and get us up and running on the equipment that we have started with before I start really changing out all the pieces. And then we'll have to decide, like the fields we picked because of their yield percentage bonus. Like we're going to get a great yield off of pretty much all of these fields. But they're all pretty small, so I don't know if at some point it's going to be worth planting a bigger field just because it's less turning around. Like for the amount of hours we're going to spend harvesting and planting and cultivating and doing all those things, maybe our yield would be less, but on one of these big fields we do a lot less turns, and so we'd essentially be getting more planting per minute or more harvesting per minute without all these adjustments. These 3-point turns or just kind of getting the equipment turned around or doing any of that. So I don't know. It will be interesting to see what is worth it in the long run. But I think this is a pretty good start with these 6 fields. 5 fields? 5 fields. 33, 34, 36, 18, and 15. I felt like we had a 6th field, but I must not have purchased that one yet. So I feel like we've gotten a pretty good start on this, and for at least the first year as we're getting established. Eventually we'll be able to bring some more fields into the rotation as well, especially with 3 tractors. We can certainly work multiple fields at once with workers and things like that. But overall pretty satisfied with how this is shaping up. We've only got 2 strips left, and then we will be all planted. We'll have to decide if we want to do anything else in March or not, so I'll have to take a look at that and see if we want to mess around with another field or if we need to get any equipment ready for the next step and kind of go from there. So this what do I call it? This series just feels different than some of the other ones I've been doing. Like, I guess it's because we don't have any animals and everything is about the animals on Riverview. Erlengrot was a little bit like this, but Erlengrot still kept us busy because we were doing all that grass care. Without grass care, we're pretty much just farming, and when we're only farming 2 crops like we are right now, you've only got certain times of the year that you can even get those crops in the ground or do anything with them. So yeah, it's just a different feel, which is nice. It's a little bit refreshing. So I mean, not complaining. I'm just trying to get my brain around, like, we're gonna end up, if these 3 are planted, we can't do anything else until July. We might just be fast forwarding. Did I unfold that? No, I didn't. Got to get my order correct. What was I saying? So yeah, if we're gonna literally only do 2 crops, at least this first year, we're gonna do a ton of skipping forward, which is okay. But it's just different. We were busy every month in Erlengrot. This series is a little different because we're just not, and I think that's okay. So let's get this picked up. And that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. We got them all planted by 9:47 a.m. That's impressive. Tune in next time, and we'll see what we're going to do for the rest of March and or skip to July and begin our harvest. So I'll be excited to see what that looks like. Let me know in the comments below what you think we should do in April, May, and June. But anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet so you can see more great farm sim content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.